All right, so there we go. So John with Just Thoughts, thank you for being here, man.
Half the thing you're talking about,
Right.
by the way,
Yeah, keep going.
huh?
Keep going. What were you saying?
Now go for it.
No, no, no. I was just gonna say that I do appreciate you being
Um,
here, and I would like to see from your perspective, like you're, I would imagine somebody that's not necessarily extremely wealthy or extremely well off. So you seem like you're maybe in my same tax bracket or in the same area that I would be. And so, from your perspective, what do you think are some of the difficulties that we're currently seeing within our ability to create beneficial systems that would be helpful to the majority of the citizens that we have?
I have no clue,
You have no
dude.
clue,
Um,
dude. That makes so much
I'm not
sense.
part of
Like
the
a lot of people
political
are in
scene.
that same area.
With this political thing, like my brain just doesn't connect to it at all.
Right. Now, do you just not find it interesting, or is it like there a separation between your faith and our political structure?
It's just not my thing.
It's not your thing. Yeah, which is like that usually happens to a lot of people. Like they don't find interest in it because it's not necessarily something that they can vibe with, right? So tell me this. Are you familiar with some of the benefits of being able to see other people's opinions and point of views when dealing with certain issues? Like for instance, do you think it would be helpful if more people that were younger, people around our age range, had the opportunity to be able to invest time in being able to talk to some of the representatives that we have in our governmental system?
Um, to be fully honest, it would be, but then it wouldn't be because a lot of the older ones should be doing that more than the younger ones.
Right. And had somebody come in the room. So yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, there's a separation right now happening between the older people that we have, right, and the younger people being able to gain the knowledge that they have been given basically over the last like 20 to 30 years, like the exchange of knowledge from the people that are older to the people that are younger like us is basically being broken. And usually what happens is that there's like a bridge that is supposed to be occurring between different generations, and when we separate the generations out, when we don't have that bridge, that's usually when we have the majority of the hardships that we experience in life, is that disconnect that happens between intergenerations. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, there should be a bridge, honestly. Like there shouldn't be really any separation between generations. Yet although this generation is kind of fucked up,
Right.
not like the older generations, there still should be a connection through it.
Right. Yeah, I agree entirely. Yeah, like some of the cool things that I usually try to introduce into the conversation is us being more interested in some of the those hardships that I had mentioned. Like, do you think if we had the opportunity to speak to more people and have these use these technologies that we have and these platforms that we have to be able to find people that basically don't usually have the opportunity to be heard, like some people usually like in the higher levels of the social and economic systems versus the lower levels of the social and economic systems don't have a representative to speak for them due to the fact that the majority of time what happens is that they're either not heard because they're just in a different class versus the people that are usually able to be heard.
Um, hmm, I really don't know.
You really don't know.
Like,
That's fair. Well, how about this? What are some of the things that you're interested
as in general.
in general? Yep, just in general.
Um, let's see, gaming,
Gaming.
talking to newer people, trying to like communicate with people I don't know,
Right. What?
and trying to like get involved with the newer shit.
Right. Well, did you know
That
like
I
the
don't
gaming
really know.
industry, like a funny story, they're gonna like take over like the amount of people that are currently affiliated with real like sports that are physical. Like the gaming community is actually overtaking the amount of people that are watching as well as participating. So within the next 10 to 15 years, what's going to happen is that the majority of the people that are investing money, instead of it being into things like football and soccer, they're going to be investing into things like esports. So I think that's right in your alley. Is that right?
Yeah, and then another thing is like I like doing it, but then I see a lot of people just hating on it. To be fully honest, they were like, vaping is like bad for you, but then you gotta remember that would you rather get over 10 different types of cancer, or would you stay safe, like safer than smoking cigarettes and like all this tobacco products, or would you go to e-liquid and stay a little bit safer?
Sure. Yeah. Right.
Because yet people say that. Um, so right now I vape for the
Right.
past 4 years.
Right.
I haven't came out of smoking, so I don't smoke. This is why I'm doing this.
Right.
Trying to avoid myself because I have a friend and he smokes cigarettes, and I tell him to stop, and he doesn't. One of my uncles are actually addicted to smoking cigarettes for 30 something years.
Uh huh.
My dad told him to stop. He doesn't. He's been in the hospital multiple times for different types of cancer:
Right. Sure.
bone cancer, blood cancer,
Sure.
urine cancer, different types. My dad had lung disease from it, and now he doesn't smoke. He switched to e-liquid.
Right. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. And like one of the good things about the healthcare system that we're trying to create, right, is that some of the experiences that a lot of people have had in the past basically make it difficult for them to receive the adequate health care that they would be able to receive had they been born into a certain economic class, right? So this division that you're seeing, like us
Yeah.
moving basically away from the conversation about gaming to the vaping and the cancer and whatnot. Do you think that there is a separation between the people that are able to receive the adequate care due to the fact that they've been born into a higher elitist class within our economic system?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think that we could do to help those situations out and possibly help the people that weren't as fortunate in where they were born?
Um. So I hear now that the government is trying to, like, in different cities, states, countries, they're trying to get rid of e-liquid, but they're messing up. As in, you're taking away something that's not as harmful, and you're bringing in more. What's it called? Like a lot more tobacco products that are normally not good for you at
Right,
all. They're like switch from e-liquid to smoking cigarettes.
right.
That's what they're trying to say right now. But have they thought of how many hospitals are bloated with people getting cancer from cigarettes?
Right. Well, there's a direct
And there has
correlation
only
between
been
like the
a
cancer
few
industry.
deaths. There's been more deaths in cigarettes in this year as in vaping. Vaping, there was like, I know it's still a lot of people, about 50. But then this year, there's so many people that have died from cigarettes. It's like 20 times, maybe 30 times as much people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a that's a very important conversation about vaping and making sure that we can protect young people that are unfamiliar with the harmful
Especially
side
the
effects.
young people that
Right.
are getting into smoking because of everyone else around them and
Right.
listening
Yeah.
to the people that don't know what the hell they're saying.
Right, sure. Like the psychological programming that
Like,
usually happens between the familial stratus. Like, usually what happens is that you have a family member, right? Or you have a significant person in your life, a mentor or something, that influences you to be able to smoke or to be able to participate in things that you shouldn't participate. And then there's a direct correlation, like I was mentioning, between our healthcare system and the like the cancer industry, which is one of the ways that people usually like to introduce the conversation. Is that it's not necessarily beneficial to keep people healthy, because if you have too many people that are healthy, then the healthcare system collapses on itself. So there is a monetary incentive behind essentially keeping people either sick or making them feel as if they're not as healthy as they could be. And once you create that connection and you understand how the monetary system behind it works, then you have a bigger understanding of the potential deficits of the difficulties that a lot of people usually go through.
like I could give multiple examples. Like I'm gonna give you one right now.
Right,
My friend called me this morning
right,
asking, "What should I do? Vape or smoke?" I'm like, "Dude, you got to move to the vaping. Like, don't bring those cigarettes into your head."
right,
He's
yeah,
like, "Why not? People say it's more like it's a lot better feeling." I'm like, "So you're telling me you're not gonna listen to someone that's been vaping for 4 years and that has been your friend for 8 years, and you're gonna listen to some goddamn stranger telling you to smoke cigarettes?" He's like, "Yeah, pretty much." I'm like, "Okay, you know what? If you smoke cigarettes, go fuck yourself. Like, I
yeah,
don't want you near me anymore." I'm like, it's either you're gonna listen to me and take thoughts from someone smarter, or you can go fuck yourself.
sure, yeah, right, no, no, no,
Like,
I agree, yeah, yeah,
I've I've had some very tragic moments that many people, like many teenagers, that haven't had.
sure, right.
I've had a friend die in my hand because of smoking cigarettes, because she never got the help,
That
and
that's
I'm there
that's
for her
unfortunate. Yeah.
24/7, more than her parents would take care of her.
Wow. Sure. I mean, yeah, that's really good, right? Like it's really powerful to make sure that the people that you surround yourself with are people that, you can trust and that trust you, so that you're able to create and develop that trust factor, right? That's one of the things that's essentially being lost in our society, is that we don't have the availability to find people that we can invest time into, that we can trust with the hardships that we have to go through, right? And then usually what ends up happening is that most people just lose interest in the possibility of basically having that connection, right? Like usually if you see like people going through it, right? It's hard to be able to say, hey, you know what, this is going to benefit you or this is going to be harmful, because you don't have an understanding of what they've been through. And once you've been able to develop that concrete trust factor, then it's easier to be able to say, hey, you know what you're doing and what you're saying, it sounds stupid, and you definitely don't have an understanding of the long-term effects, the longevity of the injury that you're doing to yourself, not only psychologically speaking, but also from a health perspective. So let's jump real quick back to that gaming conversation, right? Because I really haven't spoken to any gamers. Can you tell me some of the benefits of the gaming industry? Like, I know that there has to be some psychological component that is involved in the gaming industry that I'm not familiar with, due to the fact that I have not participated in that industry.
So benefits as in like pros,
Sure,
like
right,
pros and cons.
right.
All right.
Like I'm sure
So
that they
the
teach you
cons of
stuff,
it,
right?
I'll start with something with the cons. Um, Cons is that it gets very expensive. Like, I
Okay,
mean, very expensive.
right.
But then you got to remember, if you put your mind to it, because I'm still trying to put my mind to it, it's costed me like $800 to get the things I need to get there, and I still have to spend more money to get better CPU and motherboard because they're outdated
Right, sure.
by I think 4 years each.
Right, and that's like really important, right?
And it won't run some of the things I can. Like, I can't stream, which is some one of the things I really want to do. Like I want to be one of my friends. He streams and he just got $4,000 last month from a sponsorship. I can't do that because my PC just